how to gain confidence, how to stop being insecure. So if you find yourself tripping over your words, not being able to portray yourself in a way that seems confident, keep watching. I'm gonna share some tips on how to gain that confidence and basically overnight. Before we get started, if you've been growing out your hair for a while and you need a little bit of extra help, I got a free hair routine down below in the description going over what you should be doing to your curls from day 1 to day 7. It's completely free. Go in the description and download it. And whilst you're down there, make sure that you hit the like button. I'll wait. Don't let this shirt fool you, bro. Just because I'm on island don't mean I won't find you. First thing you need to understand when it comes to confidence is that it's built on 2 things. Number 1 is your mindset, and number 2 is actually putting it into practice. Because you could be doing the absolute most, you could be faking it till you make it, but unless you have that mindset in your head that, hey, I am him, I am enough, I know what I have to offer, it won't mean anything. At the same time, mindset is only going to take you so far because at some point you need to back it up. First step when it comes to gaining confidence is to start dressing nice. There's a certain saying that goes, when you look good, you feel good, and it is absolutely true. I know for me personally, it was one of my goals in 2023 to start dressing up better, start dressing nicer when it came to events, whenever I left my house. Basically, I wanted to dress up at least 1 notch higher than the average looking guy. It definitely gave me a confidence boost when I went out with my friends because I never had the excuse that, oh, I didn't really dress for the occasion. I'm already gleaming, right? I already feel like I'm in my zone because I know that I look good. Shirts that fit you, invest in some jewelry, some accessories and stuff like that. Start taking your fashion game, your style game seriously. I almost feel like I have an alter ego on when I got a good outfit. I got a nice jacket on, when I got a little bit of accessories, when I got some shades, bro, I feel like a legit model. And that's how you should feel on a daily basis, bro. So if you guys want some tips on how to dress better, how to level up your style, leave a comment down below and I'll consider making a video about it. Next tip when it comes to gaining confidence is a little bit of a personal one. You need to quit the negative self-talk. I get how it is, especially if you're one of the funny ones in the friend group, how tempting it could be to go into that self-deprecation humor and stuff like that, right? But I need you to quit it even if you don't mean it. A lot of the ideas, mindsets, ideologies that we collect throughout our lives are obtained subconsciously. And I began noticing this by examining the content that I was consuming. You're watching videos about red pill, how girls only want guys with money, all this alpha male stuff, right? Even if you're not consciously subscribing to it, it's being digested subconsciously. And that's just the external stuff. Imagine how much more powerful it is when it's coming from your own mouth. I made it a priority to stop the negative self-talk, even if it's joking. No more saying, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, I'm so clumsy, oh, I can never get these things right. You are sowing that seed in yourself that's saying, oh, I'm not good enough. Instead, replace it. Start saying good things about yourself. If you slip up in a certain area, instead of saying, oh, dang, I slipped up, I'm so bad at this, switch it and say, I'm gonna get it next time. Subconscious mind is a very powerful thing, bro. Be careful of what you are letting into your system. Be careful of the content that you're consuming, and definitely be careful of what you're saying about yourself. There's power in the tongue, and that's gonna shape the way that you view yourself. Even if you don't mean the negative things that you're saying, on a subconscious level, it's coming from somewhere. Even those people who joke about their weight sometimes, and they be like, oh, I don't really care about it. And maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But don't feed that voice. Feed the positive voice. Feed the voice that's saying, you know what, I'm good. I can do this. I'm getting better. Next step to gaining confidence is to start giving strangers compliments. This is something that I found changed the game for me when it came to interacting with different people. I'm naturally extroverted, but I still find it difficult to talk to new people. I made it a goal in 2023 to say every time I go out, I'm gonna give somebody a compliment, even if it's not every time, because let's be honest, right? Sometimes you're not in the mood, and that's okay. But start making it a priority to spread joy. Start making it a priority to actually compliment people, make them feel good. Because here's the thing, it's completely free. There's gonna be a lot of people who are like, well, I don't wanna go around complimenting people. That's weird. Why is it weird, bro? Honestly, why is it weird? Why is it weird that if you notice something about somebody else, to give them some recognition on it? That doesn't make you a creep, at least if it's appropriate. If I saw like an old lady and I was walking down the street and she had a cool coat on, or she had a nice jacket or nice boots, I would tell her, I'd be like, hey, I like your jacket. And through that, you find that you're breaking down the barrier of being in your own little shell. And some people might say, oh, giving a compliment is easy, but talking to someone is a way harder thing. And I agree with you, right? But you'll be surprised how many people don't get past the first stage of actually saying something to a stranger. Next step, start taking pictures of yourself. Now, I know this is gonna sound conceited, but hear me out, right? I feel as though a lot of guys are insecure about the way they look because Unlike girls, we don't get the luxury of a bunch of people telling us, hey, you look good. A girl could post a picture, she would have 1,000 other girls in her comments hyping her up, telling her she looked good. And I'm not saying you should seek that validation from other people, but I feel like you should acknowledge it yourself. Even if you have to reach deep down into your subconscious, even if you don't believe it, you gotta tell yourself and be like, hey, I look good. And what better way to show that than to actually start taking photos of yourself? You're gonna look weird. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna look weird. You're gonna hate every single photo that you take, right? But if you start going on Pinterest, you start searching up poses and stuff like that, you start getting comfortable in front of the camera. Because let's be honest, right? Most people, the first thing that they ask from you is like, hey, yo, what's your social media? Hey, what's your Instagram? And they use that to judge you. You get comfortable in front of a camera, right? You get comfortable with your digital image and the way you look. It's gonna speak volumes in just your personal life, your dating life, your social life. And people are always gonna hide behind the excuse, oh, I'm not photogenic. Here's what you gotta understand. Being photogenic is a skill. And like any skill, it can be improved. And trust me, when you start to gain confidence in taking photos of yourself, taking videos, posting yourself online, people will start to see it through your online presence. It's an attractive trait because it shows that you're comfortable being yourself. But the problem is you haven't taking the time to actually find your good angles and stuff like that to be confident on social media. I'm not saying you have to post a bunch of pictures. I'm not even saying that you have to post any of them, but get comfortable being in front of a camera and just start embracing the way you look on the screen. Trust me, it's gonna open doors for you. You won't be that person who's always asking, hey, yo, let me see the photo or delete this photo. Or you won't be the person who has 0 photos on your Instagram. Nobody can even tell if you're alive. Taking photos of yourself, get comfortable with your digital image, and you're gonna see your confidence grow. Next tip to gaining confidence is understand what God says about you. I understand that people coming from religious backgrounds, maybe you don't believe at all, maybe you believe in something different. But as for me, I found that this was one of the biggest factors when it came to boosting my confidence, boosting my self-esteem, understanding who I am, is to actually look in the Word and see what God says about me. Because confidence doesn't just have to do with the way that you view yourself, right? But when you start to read things like Romans 8:31, what shall we say about such wonderful things as these? If God is for us, who can ever be against us? But even verse 32, since he did not spare even his own son, but gave him up for us all, won't he give us everything else? And my current favorite one, I can't remember exactly what verse it is, but it basically goes, you are no longer a slave to sin, but a son, and if a son, an heir to God through Christ. Just a few verses that I feel personally helped to build my confidence in the way that I see myself in the world, because it makes me say, hey, yo, I'm not alone. Got the confidence that everything is going to work out for me because there's someone who is looking out for me. If you like this video, you're definitely gonna like this one, so I advise you check it out. That's all for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.